How's it going, trainers, and welcome to another Pokemon Go PvP video. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Tempest Cup and its meta. On the top of the infographic you could see that we have the Razor Leaf users in Tropius, Abomasnow, and Torterra. The Mud Boys on the right side with Quagsire, Swampert, and Wishcash. The Electric/Steel type users in Lantern, Magneton, and Magnezone. The Water/Ice types of Lapras and Celio. And lastly, the Flyers in Skarmory, Altaria, Togekiss, and Charizard. A lot of these Pokemon either need to be a Legacy, whether it's from Community Day like Swampert or Charizard, or a Legacy Discharge, Magneton. That or a lot of these Pokemon as well can run a different variety of moves, whether Lapras could have Water Gun or Ice Shard or Frost Breath, Lantern could run Charge Beam or Water Gun, Quagsire has a whole slew of charge moves it could use, and it's really just up to your personal choice on how your team is composed into which moves you want to run for each of these. So that all being said, let's go ahead and hop into more specific of each of these categories. Kicking things off, we're going to start with the Razor Leaf users. Their main purpose is to counter the Mud Boys, and they do fantastic neutral damage with their fast move Razor Leaf. Tropius being the main choice here. It is a regional, so it is hard to get. Otherwise, I think the next best option is truthfully Abomasnow. You could run Razor Leaf, you could even do Powder Snow, and it could spam Avalanche real fast, and same with Outrage, which is really good neutral damage against a lot of things. Going on to the next category, we have the Mud Boys. Now the Mud Boys, this is all up to personal discretion, and to me, I feel with team composition. Swampert is the overall best choice, just because Hydro Cannon does great neutral damage and it comes so fast against a lot of things. Quagsire, however, its Stone Edge is very, very useful against the Flyers, as well as its quick move damage against the electric types. Wishcash, I feel, is a harder counter to Flyers than the other two Mud Boys, mostly because even if Altaria has 2 shields against the Wishcash, you could just do nothing but Blizzards and still take the win. So Wishcash, to me, is the better Flyer counter of the Mud Boys. Moving on, we're going to take a look at the Electric Steel types. Now, I'm going to have to say right away that Magneton, you're only going to want to use it if you have the Double Legacy Spark Discharge moveset, and it's a fantastic Pokemon for this meta, but otherwise, the next best option to replace Magneton would be Magnezone, but I feel it kinda is unnecessary with a Pokemon like Lantern in the meta. You could run the Water Gun variant. It does great neutral damage against a lot of things, and you still get to the Charge move Thunderbolt quickly, and same with Hydro Pump, and it makes it's hard for your opponent to guess what's coming sometimes. Otherwise, you could go ahead and use the Charge Beam fast move for Lantern, which, as in its name, what it does is it builds up your charge moves even faster, but also delivering electric damage with the fast move, so it is useful depending on your team composition yet again. Now, Steelix is the mold breaker in this section. It walls the Flyers, it completely walls them, but it doesn't do very well against Charizard of the Flyer category, and it matches up pretty well against the Electric Steel types in Magneton and Magnezone, and it does pretty good against the Ice Water types like Lapras and Celio, but you do gotta watch out for stuff like Surf from Lapras, and that's pretty much it. But we'll go ahead and move on to the Ice Water types now. The Ice Water types consist of Lapras and Celio, and truth be told, Celio is basically the substitute for Lapras. If you, for one, don't have a Lapras with an extra move or can't afford it, I definitely recommend Celio. Even though it's still expensive for that charge move, it's a really, really good replacement, and it actually beats Lapras head-to-head. Now, when it comes to Lapras, it's definitely a preferred Pokemon in this meta, but there are a couple ways you can use it. You could use it with the Legacy moveset Ice Shard fast move, and you need the Ice Beam charge move, so Ice Shard, Ice Beam, Surf. And what that's going to do for you is it's a harder counter to the Flyers, and it deals more overall damage with Ice Shard. Otherwise, you could be running Water Gun, and what Water Gun does for you is it gives you good neutral damage against a more variety of the meta, while still getting you to that charge move Ice Beam for the Flyers. The other useful thing, what I find useful, is in the Lapras mirror. Water Gun Lapras is going to win that mirror 95% of the time, dependent on the play of your opponent, shield situations, and of course PvP IVs. So Lapras is a fantastic pick. You also have to be on the lookout for the Dragon Pulse charge move. I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend it, although it is the best charge move in the overall sense for Lapras. In this meta, I feel like having Legacy Ice Beam is far more important than having Legacy Dragon Pulse. But if you do, for any reason, run into Legacy Dragon Pulse, the only way a Lapras is going to beat that Lapras is if it's a Water Gun Lapras. Last but not least, we have the Flyers. Now, the Flyers consist of mainly two Pokemon, being Altaria and Skarmory, and I feel like both of them are real staples, especially Altaria. Altaria is relatively good against everything in the meta, even things it's not supposed to be good against. Its Dragon Breath fast move is just so ridiculous, and its spammability and its damage output. It's just a fantastic Pokemon. I absolutely recommend it. Skarmory, on the other hand, is good in the sense of you can put it up against the other Flyers, and it's great against Razor Leaf users because its Steel typing resists the Razor Leaf damage, and it's better against Ice types. So it's still a great Pokemon, as it always has been in every meta it is in. The next best option is Togekiss. Now, Togekiss, as we've previously discussed in previous videos, is a little harder to obtain in Great League. You either need to get, I believe it's a level 16 Togepi or Togetic from a low-level trainer, or have caught one in the wild at, let's say, GoFest, which is the only way. Or I guess you can catch wild Togetics in the wild normally, but they're an extremely rare Pokemon. So next up we have Charizard. Charizard is really good for countering Tropius, and especially Abomasnow. So if you feel your team is really has a big weakness to Tropius or Abomasnow, I would definitely recommend putting Charizard in there because it could get to that Blast Burn so fast. But otherwise, I feel like compared to the last time Tempest Cup was around, Charizard has lost a lot of its viability. Last but not least, we have Lugia, and he is the mold breaker of this section of the meta. Lugia is just really a tank, and a lot of people don't know what to do to it. It has Dragon Tail and Extra Sensory, I believe, as its fast moves. So you could do Psychic or Dragon type fast move damage, which is good neutral damage against most things. And it has Sky Attack, and Sky Attack, as we know, is a fantastic charge move. But that pretty much sums up the relative meta for Tempest Cup. We're going to go ahead and move on to a Tempest Cup tournament I participated in just yesterday as of recording. And first we're going to take a look at my team. Here is my team of 6 that I decided to use for my Tempest Cup. First off, we have Skarmory with Air Slash, Sky Attack, and Flash Cannon. As previously discussed, it's great against the Grass types and even the Ice types with its Steel Flash Cannon damage. Next up we have Lantern, and I opted for Charge Beam to have that electric fast move damage, as well as get to the Thunderbolt and Hydro Pump much faster. For me and my playstyle in this meta, it just fit my team composition better, especially because of what you'll see with a certain Pokemon's other moveset. Next, I opted for Wishcash, mostly because I love its ability to shut down Altaria, and I feel Altaria is really a threat in the Tempest Cup, so for me this Mudboy fit what I wanted out of a Mudboy. Next we have Tropius, a grass user being stable, truth be told. I feel if you have Tropius you should use it, but it really loses a bit of its viability once you get into the actual tournament, dependent on the situation. Next up we have Altaria, and as I've discussed, I feel like it's probably the biggest threat of this Tempest Cup meta, with its Dragon Breath fast move, doing high damage output, and building up Sky Attack so stupid fast. It's a fantastic mon. And next we have Lapras. Now, I opted for Water Gun Lapras so that I could win the mirror, and the reason I'm so concerned about that is because I actually ran a lot of sims the day of my tournament, and the AI on the PvPoke website constantly had Lapras mirrors up against me, so I felt that the Water Gun Lapras helped me out more for my team composition. But anyways, that is my team of 6. We're going to go ahead and hop right into the tournament. So, as you can see, this is our round 1. I'm going to be off against Grassy Queen Bee. We got Sarah Elise against Southpaw, Churl Monster against Killer Panda, Baby Quazda against BCR, and Cat with the bye. So let's go ahead and jump into game 1. Starting things off in game 1, I'm going to lead with my Altaria, because as I've said, I feel Altaria is the biggest threat, and I feel like I have a good system. And this is a fantastic lead. This is probably the best we could have got. Dragon Breath, Sky Attack, Altaria just shuts down Tropius. She immediately switches into her Altaria, so we switch to our Charge Beam Lantern and start farming away and going straight for that Thunderbolt. I don't know why we got that hand prompt. It's weird. She shields the first Thunderbolt, and she's coming in with a Sky Attack. We're going to go ahead and shield this because her Dragon Breath is doing so much damage to us. We know we could get to 2 more Thunderbolts, so we want to preserve it and kill this Altaria. We miss a couple bubbles, that's unfortunate. We still gotta work on that. We get the Thunderbolt off, she doesn't shield. She's coming in with the Sky Attack, and we actually opt to not shield it and let us go to the red and try to get this down, but we don't finish it. I feel like that's a bit of a misplay, but we're gonna come in with our Altaria, and we have a Sky Attack ready and waiting right away. We're going to finish off her Altaria. So we both have one shield. She comes in with her Tropius on accident, it looks like, switches to her Swampert, and we immediately switch to our Tropius, and she is locked in. She's coming in with a Hydro Cannon. It's no problem. We're going to take it. Save our shield. We kill her Swampert, and then she's coming in with her Tropius, and we are switch locked in here. So we're just going to fire away with this Sky Attack, or is it Aerial Ace? Aerial Ace. Taking her last shield. We pretty much got this unlocked because we still have a shield and Altaria in the back, and we are going to preserve that shield for our Altaria. Excuse me. We get to an additional Aerial Ace. Gonna get this to land and get her in the red, and here she comes, presumably with her own Aerial Ace. But it is just a Leaf Blade. She's just trying to chip us down as fast as she can, and we are going to finish her off with fast moves and not even get back to our Altaria. GG. Stepping into game 2, we're going to go ahead and lead with Altaria once again, but we are going to bring Wishcash to, just in case we can't handle that Altaria as well as Lantern wasn't able to last time. We lead against a Quagsire, which is okay. We're going to farm up to a Sky Attack, and we are going to go for it. See if we can take a shield or just get some good chip damage. We get that, and she gets into the red, and we immediately switch just in time to our Tropius to absorb the Stone Edge. We opt to not shield, even though it's super effective damage, because that's pretty much what we needed Tropius for, was to take down that. She comes with her Frostlass, which is not good for us. Its Powder Snow Avalanche capabilities are ridiculous, and that is 2 times effective against our Tropius being Grass Flying. She's coming in, and we've decided we don't need this Tropius anymore. She hits us with a Shadow Ball, oh my gosh. The Tropius is gone. We're going to come in with our Wishcash, because our Altaria would be taking super effective damage to Ice Attacks, as well as Shadow Ball. And we're going to have to chip in these Mud Bombs as much as we can. Try to get this Frostless out of here. We're going to shield because we do want to preserve this Wishcash, because we still don't know what her other Pokemon is, and it is Altaria, and she switches into it, and we have a Blizzard ready and waiting, and she has no shields. Goodbye, Altaria. Here comes the Frostlass, and we're just going to keep going with the Mud Bombs. We're going to let our Wishcash die because we want that shield for Altaria. We're going to finish it off with fast moves. GG. Moving on to round 2 of the tournament. We can see that I am playing Baby Quasda, Sarah is playing Cat, Churro Monster is playing Grassy Queen Bee, Southpaw versus Killer Panda, and BCR with the bye. So let's go ahead and step into our round 2. Starting things off in round 2 against Baby Quasda, we're going to go ahead and lead with Charge Beam Lantern. She leads with Lapras. This is an okay matchup. We know because this is a shiny, it must be an Ice Shard Ice Beam Lapras for sure. So we're going to fire away these Thunderbolt, see if we can get one of these to land. We get the excellent, fantastic, it does land. We get her into the red, and she's going to come in presumably with a Surf. That it is. We're going to let that land. We're going to finish her off with fast moves, but she has another Surf coming. That's fine. A little bit unfortunate, but that's fine. Finish her off with fast moves, and we have a Thunderbolt ready and waiting for whatever might come. She comes in with Wishcash, and we don't want to waste our Thunderbolt. We switch to our Skarmory. It's the best we got. We have to watch out for the Blizzard, but she shoots the Mud Bomb, and we were counting. We go for the Sky Attack, try to get some chip damage in here. Sky Attack will actually do relatively well once it does land. She's going to come back. This is the thing with Wishcash, it's really tricky to know whether Mud Bomb or Blizzard's coming. We're not going to shield this time, and it was a Blizzard, and our Skarmory is good as dead. We're going to go for that Sky Attack, try to get something out of our Skarmory in this matchup, but she's going to double shield that Wishcash because she realizes how crucial it is against my team composition. So we're going to let her finish off our Skarmory because there's no point in shielding it. And we're going to come in with our Lapras. She has a Mud Bomb ready and waiting, and that's a little unfortunate again. We're going to get in there, and we're going to try to finish her off with fast moves, hopefully. She's going to get another Mud Bomb. We're going to let it go. Try to preserve as much as we can. Get that Surf to finish off this Wishcash. Finally getting some excellence in here. She comes in with her Skarmory, and we're immediately switching to our Lantern and getting that Thunderbolt off, since she has no shields from double shielding that Wishcash. Get her into the yellow, charging up, getting to another Thunderbolt to finish off that Skarmory. And unfortunately, we didn't get the Excellent that time, but that is going to take that game. GG's. Excuse me. So, moving on to game 2 of round 2. We're going to lead with Lantern yet again because it worked out so well, but she leads with Wish Cache, and that is horrible. We're going to immediately switch to our Lapras, and she switches to our Skarmory. Now, we are going to go ahead and be a little ballsy and go for nothing but Ice Beams, I believe. So we go for this Ice Beam, hoping she thinks it's a Surf, but she does shield. Smart. And we're going to charge up, and we are going to shield. We need to preserve this Lapras. The Skarmory right now is a threat. And then we're going to go ahead and go straight for that Ice Beam rather than going for Surf, hoping that she won't shield. And she does. So she commits completely to that Skarmory. And so we commit completely to our Lapras in hopes to at least get to a Surf to finish this off because we feel like our Ice Shard damage is going to be enough. So we get to the Surf in time. She has no shields. And we do take this little matchup as a win. And she comes back in with our Wish Cache. That's the reason we need our Lapras, is for that Wish Cache. She's going to finish us off with Mud Bomb, and all we have left is Skarmory and Lantern. So Skarmory's going to have to get the job done, and hopefully land a Sky attack before she get to a Blizzard. But here she comes with her Blizzard, getting us into the yellow. We can live one, so that's okay. So we need to get this Sky attack off, and probably another one, but she is low on the red. Here we go. We finish her off before she could even get to a Mud Bomb. She comes into the Lantern, and we are going to Sky attack this Lantern immediately. And immediately switch to our Lantern. Even though Water Gun Lantern does beat Charge Beam Lantern in the matchup, our Charge Beam Lantern did have a little bit of damage as well as a health advantage, so we're willing to take that sacrifice to try to keep our Skarmory alive. We're immediately go for the Hydro Pump. We think that could finish her. We get the excellent. It almost finished her. It gets her in the red, but she's going to get to another Thunderbolt and finish off our Lantern. So all we have to hope is that our very low life Skarmory could finish off the Lantern with fast moves, and she just finishes us and forces a game 3. Good game. Going to game 3, we're going to try to be less predictable and lead with Lapras this time, and she leads with Lantern. That's not so hot, personally. That's not a good matchup. We're going to go ahead and charge it to a Surf, and then switch to our own Lantern, in hopes that she would just immediately switch. She doesn't, and she fires her Thunderbolt, and we shield because we don't want to lose half our health. We're going to get to our Thunderbolt. See if she's going to commit. We only get a Great, and she doesn't commit. She goes under half health. We just got to get to another Thunderbolt. We opt to let this land because we can live it and get to another Thunderbolt in time. Here comes our Thunderbolt, so let's see if she wants to save her Lantern. We get the Great. She does preserve, so options are that we're going to preserve in this situation. And we do. We commit that shield because we want this Lantern to beat that Lantern. And we're going to go ahead and finish her off with a Thunderbolt. She goes ahead and commits that last shield. That's alright. That's totally fine. And we almost finish her with fast moves. We're coming with Skarmory, and with Lapras, sorry. And luckily she doesn't have a Thunderbolt. Now we're going to fire an Ice Beam right away against this Skarmory. It lands, of course. Takes half her health. And now we're in a situation where we just need to get to a Surf because of our Water Gun damage. She goes to Sky Attack, gets us into the red, and we go, and we're ballsy, and we go for Surf in the end after a little overcharging, actually. And we finish off the Skarmory. She comes in with her Wish Cache. Oh my gosh. We are going to give this sucker a Surf, let it land, and immediately switch to our Skarmory so that she can't get any additional energy off of our Lapras. She's coming in presumably with a Blizzard. We could take one of those, remember, and we have our Sky Attack, and she cannot take one of those with that amount of health. So that is going to land, finishing her off, and taking completely round 2. GG's. So taking a look at our round 3 matchups, we have myself against Churro Monster, Sarah Elise against Bibi, Southpaw against Cat, BCR against Grassy Queen Bee, and Killer Panda with the bye this time. So let's go ahead and step into round 3. Round 3, I'm going to go ahead and lead with Lapras against Churro Monster. I feel Lapras has the best lead advantage against this team, and he does lead with Altaria, so this is a fantastic matchup. He switches into Skarmory, and we opt to actually stay with this. He gave up his switch priority, and we would rather just keep this advantage actually, as we do have something else for that Altaria. He goes for Sky Attack, we let it land, with a little bit of lag, but then we get back in it, and we are going to Surf. Try to bait a shield or do some damage, and we do that damage, getting him almost down, and we're going to go ahead and let him finish our Lapras, because whatever Pokemon comes in will get a little bit of energy and finish off that Skarmory. So we come in with the Wish Cache because we could get a Mud Bomb off of it. We do have a Mud Bomb ready and waiting, and here he comes with that Altaria. We're going to go for the Mud Bomb first, try to get a shield because he knows we could have a Blizzard. We do get that shield, and now he should know we have a Blizzard by now, and we're going to actually go for it, hoping that he thinks it's just another Mud Bomb. And it does land, KOing that Altaria. Fantastic. He comes in with Lantern, and this is as good as lost for him. As Wish Cache pretty much walls Lantern with these fast charging Mud Bombs coming out of nowhere. As you can see, comes another. Boom. Getting him into the yellow. It's fine. We're not going to shield. We still have a full health Tropius in the back. We could save the shields for the Tropius. We still have 2. And pretty much Rage Leaf damage is going to take care of this. His Water Gun damage is doing a decent amount if you want to notice. That's pretty notable. But that's going to take that game. So moving on to Game 2 of Round 3. We're going to go ahead and opt to lead with Tropius, hoping that he adjusts. But he leads with Altaria again. We should have just stayed with our original plan. And we switch to Lapras. And chances are he's going to switch, which he does, to Lantern, which is unfortunate. Okay. We get to our Surf, we're going to go ahead and fire it, hoping that he thinks it might be an Ice Beam and give him a shield, but he doesn't. He takes that Surf damage, and he's coming in with a Thunderbolt, and we are actually going to opt to let this go through and just take the loss at advantage, and come in with our Tropius. We still have the Wish Cache for that Altaria lead, so we're hoping that Tropius can handle Lantern and whatever the additional Pokemon is that we don't know that he has. So we're going to finish it off with Razor Leaf damage. We have a Leaf Blade at the ready, and Aerial Ace almost here. He's coming with Altaria. We are going to shield this right away, because Sky Attack is going to hurt, and we are going to opt to switch to our Wish Cache and try to dupe him again. We're going to go for Mud Bomb, and see how I'm swiping at the top. He's sitting right in front of me, so I'm aware that if he looks, he can see what I'm going for. So I'm making it look like, because I know this Mud Bomb ain't going to do anything anyways, that I'm swiping the Blizzard to get that shield. And I'm going to do that again. As you can see, I'm swiping up top, making it look like I'm doing Blizzard, so that he is confused and go ahead and does shield. And we take those shields, the best I could do. And now we're going to have to Aerial Ace with this Tropius. But unfortunately, Tropius, really in any shield situation against an Altaria, is going to lose. So here comes the Sky Attack. And that's going to almost finish me off after a few fast moves, and that's GG's. So going into Game 3 of Round 3 against Churro Monster, we're going to go ahead and lead with Lapras, since it worked originally, but he switches up and brings his Abomasnow. We thought we were safe from Abomasnow, he had yet to bring it. We switched to Skarmory, he switches to his Skarmory and decides to take that Mirror. We're going to Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon is the best opportunity, the best option, sorry, against Skarmory. He doesn't shield, it lands, he's going in with his Sky Attack. We're going to take it no matter what it was. And we both lag for a second there, and he gets to an additional Sky Attack. It's got to be. I opt to shield because I can see the situation where he's going to actually win this matchup. If I don't, I'm a little overcharging, and I shield again. I'm trying to stack a couple Sky Attacks and actually switch to my Lapras and finish it off with Water Gun damage, but he switches to his Abomasnow. I go for the Ice Beam. It should still do good neutral damage since it is a sub-grass typing, but he shields. We finally take his first shield, and he finishes off with Razor Leaf damage. Now we're going to come with our Skarmory. We're trying to get that double Sky Attack off since he only has one shield, but he unfortunately had an Outrage ready and waiting and finishes us off, wasting all that energy we build up. We come in with our Tropius, trying to finish it off with fast moves, which we do. He comes in with his Altaria, and this is as good as lost. We don't got any shields, and he still has one. We are going to Aerial Ace. He lets it go. And he's going to probably finish off the Sky Attack right now. Here it comes. And there it goes, just about finishing us. We do get to a Leaf Blade, surprisingly, which ain't going to do anything. There it goes. And he's going to finish it off with a couple Dragon Breaths. So GG's, and that is the end of Round 3. So, taking a look forward to Round 4, we're going to see Churro Monster against Sarah for the championship game, myself against Southpaw, Bibby against BCR, and Killer Panda against Cat, and Grassy Queen Bee with the bye. Now, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and lead with Tropius against Southpaw's team here, because he is running double Mud Boy, 2 water types. I feel Tropius is a really safe lead, and he does lead with his Swampert, which is definitely a good matchup. He switches once it's almost dead to his Tropius. We switch to Altaria. This is just fantastic. No matter what it is, it's not going to hardly do anything, so we're going to let it land. We're going to preserve our shield. And we're going to go for Sky Attack. Get that excellent, fantastic. Almost finish him off. We're going to finish him off with a few Dragon Breaths. See what he comes in with. He comes back in with that Swampert, and we are going to shield that, presumably Hydro Cannon, that it is. We're going to finish him off with another Dragon Breath. And he gets to another Hydro Cannon. That's unfortunate, so we do devote the double shields, because now we're going to finish him off, and we still have 3 Pokemon, no shields, against 1 Pokemon with 2 shields. So we are going to go for that Dragon Pulse, just because. Take a shield, we switch, come in with our Lapras. He's going to get to Poison Fang or Shadow Ball, and it is the Shadow Ball. He's going big or going home, it looks like. We're going to get to our Surf, hopefully taking that last shield from him, which we do. And I'm assuming he's going to try to go for another Shadow Ball, actually, in this situation. That he does, finishing off our Lapras. That's okay. We have Altaria to finish it off with some Dragon Breaths, and we even get to a Sky Attack. Kind of going for a little bit of an overkill, but gotta do what you gotta do. GG's. Awesome. So going into Game 2 of Round 4, we're going to actually opt to lead with Altaria this time, assuming that he adjusts, and he does, and he adjusts well actually to his Lantern, so we switch to our Tropius, because that's a very bad matchup. Tropius is a decent matchup. We don't want to take that Thunderbolt damage though, and we assume that's what that is coming. Of course it is. We shield it, we come in, we don't want to use a Leaf Blade, we want to farm. We go for the Aerial Ace against this Tropius because we are switch locked in here. It lands, we're going to keep going. His Aerial Ace could be coming any minute. There it is. We're not going to shield, just because what we need for the Lantern is already almost dead. We're going to Aerial Ace, try to get either a shield or almost finish off this Tropius. We shield and immediately switch to our Altaria to come finish off this Tropius. Anything Tropius has against us ain't going to do nothing to Altaria, so we're not shielding. And we're going to farm away with the Dragon Breath after a little bit of lag, and opt to not do any charge moves and save our energy. Bye-bye Tropius. Next he has coming in his Lantern, and we're going to opt to finish it off with Dragon Pulse for some reason. I'm not sure why. We should have just either finished it off with Dragon Breath or even a Sky Attack to cost us less energy, but he does shield it. And we finish him off with Dragon Pulse anyway, Dragon Breaths anyways, and we fire a Dragon Pulse against his newly switched in Swampert, and then we immediately switch to our Tropius after it fires, shielding this Hydro Cannon, and finishing off Swampert with one last Razor Leaf. And that is the end of the tournament. GG. So we're going to go ahead and look at the final rankings. Omar did win the tournament, followed by me in second place yet again. BCR got third, Baby got fourth, and Sarah Elise got fifth. Thank you for everybody who participated. This was a really fun tournament. The victor, as I previously stated, was Churro Monster. He did go undefeated, and we did go to Game 3. It was a fantastic matchup, and look forward to seeing everybody at the next one. Anyways, thank everybody for watching. Hope you have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and take care. Bye.